So I don't know if I know all the details, but I remember in '92,
Mm-hmm.
late '92, Matt Bourne went to the WWF
Mm-hmm.
and he was Doink. And I remember there were rumors that if Dad wanted the job, that Dad was going to go up there and manage him,
Mm-hmm.
as like Matt was going to be Doink, but
Yes.
Dad was going to manage him.
There was a little bit more to it than that, but
And but in Dad's mind, I don't think Dad would actually been his manager up in the WWF like that.
mm-hmm.
I think Dad would have just been a guy that would have walked to the ring with him, and they wanted Dad to go under a name like Calliope or
Mm-hmm.
something, kind of act like a three ring circus guy.
Well, that was
But yeah, you know the
there
story.
was a little bit more to the story. The way the story was relayed to me, is from what I remember hearing, is they were at Raw and they were talking about bringing some new managers around, and this was at the time a little bit before the Dingo, the Ultimate Warrior, departed for the second or third time that he
So this
decided to
was
charge out of there.
so Matt had already been there a while.
He was about to start doing it because Matt had told the story that he went up there for a tryout after he left Atlanta, and Vince had something in mind for like an evil clown because he was really into Caesar Romero and Batman. And they were talking about Lonnie Main, and Vince being a guy from the business and Matt being a guy from the business. They were talking about their love for the business and about Vince had an idea for him to do something. He goes, I think you could do it, but
It
if you
couldn't
don't,
have been at Raw then. It had to have been at Primetime Wrestling
it
because
was
Raw didn't start till the beginning of
it
'93.
was something like
They were
that.
doing TV.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
from what I understood, it was originally set up is Ding and Matt were talking
The
about
Ultimate Warrior is Ding.
working a program, and so we need a manager for this. And then they mentioned Dad, and both Ding and Matt were like, Gary would be perfect. Let's get a hold of him. And Dad was into it at the time because he was always really close friends with Matt Bourne, and Matt loved Dad, and Dad loved Matt, and Dad loved the Warrior, and it was all reciprocated. But something happened. First of all, whatever program they're going to work with the Warrior, that was killed because Dingo took off and ran off in the sunset. Love you. And then Dad was into doing it still, but phone call came back. They said uh, they said you can do it, that you can be the guy, but he would have to wear a circus ringmaster's hat, a circus ringmaster's pants, and jacket, and we'd call you Calliope. Gary Hart won't be a thing. And Dad was like, well, because my father is a little complicated to explain. Uh, kind of like Troy Aikman was in the NFL. Dad had a level of credibility and respect in the business, not just by the guys that were in it, but the people who were the real fans of it, the ticket buyer. And when things were to the point where that were going on that he didn't agree with and couldn't control, he didn't want any part of it. So if he was either going to go and be Gary Hart and do the things Gary Hart did, or he wasn't going to go at all. But that shows you how wrestlers back then used to look out after each other, because as soon as uh, there was the idea for a manager, Matt and Ding immediately mentioned Dad. And oh yes, Paul Bearer, he was right there saying, "Oh, Gary'd be perfect. I love myself some Uncle Gary." Guys used to take care of each other like that. Like that's how J.J. Dillon got his last contract in WCW. Kevin Nash made the call and brought him up. So guys used to take care of each other like that. That's a lost art now.